All right, guys, we are live for the 15th consecutive Corvette Weekly. What's up, everybody? I know you guys are all here for the big news. Of course, the Z06 has had some pricing announced today, but we have some bigger news for you. Yeah, there's almost bigger news coming after that, and we have some other news that goes along with it. So good stuff today, guys. It's going to be a really good time. So let's see. Over in the comment section or the live chat here, we got a lot of the same guys again. Steve Robertson, Future Sean, Kerry Glock, Great White North Corvette. What's up, guys? Shane, of course, is here. Blue Vette. Guys, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I put up a chat or a poll. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the poll. I'm asking if you are happy with the price of the Z06, if you think it's too high, if you think it's too low. Steve, Jason, did you guys vote?
I voted.
I did.
What did you say, Steve? Too high, too low?
I think it's overpriced, but I was also going to buy a Z06 in the first place because I know what I'm going to do with my C8. But I think they really screwed up, actually.
Jason?
I said it's too high, but I know I've thought for a very long time that it would probably the C7, C8, Z06, 3LZ, Z07 package was going to be around 150, so it wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
At all. Like almost dead on.
Yeah. I'm kind of I believe what ended up happening is, and I mean, you guys, we could talk about this all day, but I believe what happened is the economy got to GM, the inflation, all that stuff, because I had 3 salesmen, one of which was very, very high ranking salesman at a very high ranking dealership, confirm this price for me originally 8 months ago, that it was going to be right around $89,995. I do believe that was the price at one point, or at least that was the price that GM was kicking around at one point, but it is definitely changed. So guys, the poll is still going in the chat. If you want to check it out, leave your vote behind. Looks like we have 91 people that voted so far. If you guys want to leave your vote, I would like to know where we're at with this. A pretty good percentage of you are saying it's too high, and I think that's where we're going to land ultimately, but yeah, guys, we got the pricing for the C8 Corvette Z06. If you haven't heard yet, the base Z06 is going to start right around $106,000 before options, and of course that's after your destination charge. So $106,000. It's high. It's pretty high. So we're going to get into some of the information here in a second, guys. But before we do, I just want to address everybody over in the comments section. I see Phantom saying what's up, Steve Robertson saying what's up, Cynthia Goldstein, she's one of the winners of our previous carbon fiber key fob, and actually I have some more of those to go around. We're probably not going to get to those again today. Next week though, guys, I promise we're going to be doing a lot of giveaway stuff. I have something really big coming for the C8 guys. I know I keep saying that and then we keep pushing it, but we just keep getting this crazy news that I want to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to start off today, and we're going to talk a little bit about Vette Syndicate. So Jason and Steve over here just recently put on a fantastic car show. Jason, Steve, you want to take it away?
Go, Jason.
So we had our third get-together this last Saturday, and I know we had actually started kind of promoting it a little in a few other places like Park Up Front, which is an app that you can go find car shows and things like that. So that was definitely a help. But to be honest with you, we've really, Steve and I talk every day about what we're setting up here in the local area, DFW. And we, started promoting this a couple of weeks ago, and we had an amazing turnout. We were really hoping, we thought, okay, we're going to probably get 30 people. Kind of hoping. We ended up having a total of 62 cars, and it was such a great time because the camaraderie that we build with all the different Corvettes is just amazing. And honestly, though, without Steve, there's no way we would have been able to accomplish this. He spends a tremendous amount of time, working on putting things together for us. But we had a fantastic time. T, our good friend T, man, that guy is a born leader as well. He even and gave a little speech. I recorded the last couple minutes. I will have a video. I won't have that in there, but I'll have a video if you guys want to see. Probably in a couple of days, I'll post it of Saturday. But man, I go through every car. It was amazing. I had a blast. It's just such a fun time.
Yeah, people are. What's great about it is we're seeing car clubs or car club members coming to this because our philosophy is no rules, no dues, just all fun car therapy. And you know, we get people. We had our friend T, like he said, he showed up with 14 Corvettes. It's crazy, and it was a great time. And then next thing you know, we had a new batch of T-shirts. We literally sold 37 T-shirts that day. It was nuts. It was just people are enjoying this and liking they just show up and just do, we call it, you know, Corvette therapy. It has nothing to do with, you know, hey, we have to go to this meeting and have to pay these dues. But it got so packed that we had to go to the overflow parking. So if you go over to Vette Syndicate, there's some good photos and things over there. And this is just getting started. You know, we have a big thing we're going to start here in the next few weeks. And I'll let you know. It's called Vets for Vets. And we're going to do that. And it's going to be a homeless outreach for veterans and the homeless. So we got a lot of people already interested in that, and we think that's going to be a pretty big thing in the local area. And we talked to Justin about flying down for the big one. Will be Veterans Day in November, and we want to get him out here and really see what Vette Syndicate's all about.
Definitely. Yeah, I can't wait. I'll be honest, like it pains me every time I see you guys having a car show that I can't be there. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple pictures though, because Steve did send me some pictures of the show. It was a massive turnout, like Steve's telling you, but I mean, just look at this. Like the parking lot is visibly full of Corvettes. And I mean, we have the mixture in this picture, the C5s, we got the C7s, the C8s. I don't see on the picture any C6s, but I bet you there was one there at least. What do you guys think? Yeah. Was there a C6?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a black
yeah.
one there.
Okay.
There was they'll be in my video. There was a couple. I think there was an atomic orange C6 with Morimoto headlights or Vette lights. I can't remember which one now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing in this photo here, it looks like a Callaway C7 was there.
Yep, that's T.
That's T's.
That's awesome. And then this orange C8 in this photo with all the dress.
That's Orlando.
I was gonna say, I think that's Orlando. Yeah. Okay. So, then you guys also sent me a really cool group picture. So guys, check out this group picture here. This is all of the people that came out for the show, but notice how many of these guys have Vette Syndicate shirts on. I love that. And just everybody just hanging out, having a good time. The whole Vette Syndicate thing is all about having a good time, enjoying Corvettes, and not worrying about the other stuff that you typically get with Corvette clubs, like yearly dues, forced to do certain events, forced to wear certain things to certain events. This is all just about hanging out and having a good time, and I love it. Also, the guy with the Gojira shirt on, I gotta address that too. That's really awesome.
That is
I see.
Oh, but I want to address something because I said while we were out, it was so cool. We met a new guy. What we love about Vette Syndicate, maybe you don't know anybody who has a Corvette, but maybe you have these new friends. So we had 3 guys that never came to anything, came to lunch, but I shot a video to Justin because we had a guy in a C8. I was talking to him, and he actually bought something off Justin's website. So I thought that was so cool that here we go. We meet a guy that knows Justin. He's down in the DFW area. So I had to shoot Justin a video. I said, look, this guy follows you and watches your videos, and he also has parts on his car from you.
Yeah. Yep. I got the video, and I thought that was awesome. I mean, the dude literally has parts from me. He knows me. And it's actually kind of strange. Between Florida and Texas, so many of my subscribers live in those 2 states. It's really strange.
Yeah. Hey, super chat.
The guy with the Gojira shirt, his name is Brandon. His nickname in our group is the Professor because he's this very unassuming guy. But he has a C7 Z06 and it's just decked out in carbon fiber. It's everywhere. And of course, it's got all kinds of aftermarket stuff from LG Motorsports. It is super loud, super fast. I can't remember what he said it is to the wheels, but it's like there's a ton of horsepower.
Yeah. I got to also address the fact that I do see a C3 in that picture, a yellow one.
Yep. 78.
Nice.
That car is going to be in my video. I think I'm going to do a whole video with just that guy because he has completely restored that. Every bolt in that car has been redone.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to mention the super chats here real quick. I got one from Steve Robertson. He says, donation to the cause. Steve, thank you very much. We're going to go through the chat here, but real quick, guys, what I did want to mention is actually something that Ralph Cruz brought up to me. And I'm noticing super chats on YouTube, a lot of percentage of the money is taken by YouTube. So if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, I'm actually going to post over in the chat my Venmo username. If you are interested in supporting, you can send a Venmo to that username instead, and 0% is taken out. The entire amount will go to me. And of course, if you specify, I will divvy it up between Jason, Steve, and myself. But
hey, on that, I think you should really tell people what, compared to last week, how much you actually got from how big that was, because I don't think people realize how much YouTube steals.
Yeah. So
Steve, they're like the
honestly, the sad part is I don't know that I would use a different word, because it is, if you Google it, it says 30%, but I got almost $1,300 worth of super chats last week. And of that, my YouTube is showing $600 has been paid to me. So that is far more than 30%. That's more than 50%. So
yes,
it seems to me like it makes more sense if you guys are interested in doing it this way. I have my cell phone sitting right here, and of course I will call out any other thing. If you have something specific you want to say, or something specific you want to have seen, I'll call it out because my phone is right here, and it will alert me anytime a Venmo payment is made, and I'll make sure you guys still get the recognition that you might deserve. But that's just something I wanted to throw out there real quick, guys. If you do feel like you want to donate, Venmo or PayPal might be your best bet. It is going to deliver a much higher percentage. In Venmo's case, I'll get all of it. In PayPal's case, I'll get pretty much all of it minus like 3 or 4%, which is far better than what YouTube is doing. Phantom, I wish it was a tax thing, but it's not, because at the end of the year, I'll still pay taxes on it anyway. But yeah, it is kind of a little bit of the BS for sure. I expected to have a much higher amount in there after last week's episode because of you guys just really, really showing your support. But yeah. Anyway, guys, the Vette Syndicate thing, very, very cool. Very, very, it's a huge cause. I love supporting this. Of course, these t-shirts are available. If you guys are interested, they're available on my website, which is in the description down below. Or you can email any one of us three and buy them directly from us. Either way, you can show your support that way. Omid, I don't have Patreon yet, but I am looking to get it here pretty soon. I'm sorry.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, we were. Well, I was just saying, if you don't follow us on Instagram, please do. It's a Vette, or at Vette_Syndicate.
It's also in the description.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, honestly, what is it? Hint Design. It's actually more than 30%. I don't know where that number comes from, because if you Google it, it does say 30%, but in my experience, it's higher than 50. Yeah, so guys, I'm gonna try to jump into the Z06 information. I know a lot of you guys are here for that, and before we do, though, I'm gonna jump into the very first piece of information. Is going to be C8 Corvette related, and it's gonna be a pretty quick piece. So let's jump over to that real quick here. And as you can see, the C8 Corvette, the 70th anniversary edition, is actually, the wheel constraint is being lifted. So if you guys are looking for the 70th anniversary edition C8 Corvette, you are good to go. It looks like that constraint should not be an issue for you anymore. We did just get another super chat from General Lee. That's awesome, General Lee. Thank you for the support. Of course, you guys are more than welcome to support the channel any way you want. But like I was saying, if you do want to support the channel and actually get all of the money to us, Venmo is probably your best bet, or PayPal. General, I was just telling people earlier that YouTube, even though if you Google it, it says 30%, I actually think YouTube is taking a little more than 50% based on the amount of money that I got last week and how much actually hit my account. So, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, Venmo or PayPal might be the best bet. I love the super chats. You guys are awesome, but that might be the better way to do it. So anyway, the wheel constraint is lifted. So if you want the 70th anniversary, you should be good to go. Regardless of what wheel set you get, it looks like they're all good to go at this point. Now, my friend Jason over here had his order with his C8 Corvette was just recently picked up because the mag ride was not on constraint anymore. So what's funny though, and actually Vette Father's in here. So the Vette Father is actually the one that placed his order for him. Go ahead and tell him, Jason, what was on constraint though. This is weird.
The mag ride. Oh no, what was on constraint prior? Yes, it is the all-weather floor mat. So I was like, that's a deal breaker. I mean, you know, just that. I actually didn't even know I had those. So even if I wouldn't have got them, I would have never known the difference.
Yeah. So guys, it's kind of weird. Jason obviously ordered his C8 Corvette through the Vette Father, which is right here on the chat if you guys are interested.
Boardwalk Chevrolet.
Yep, Boardwalk Chevrolet in California. But basically what happened was his order came up, or his allocation came up, and Jason didn't want to take it because one of the constraint items was the mag ride, and Jason wanted the mag ride on his new C8, so he declined. I think it was the following week. It was the mag ride wasn't on constraint anymore, so he was able to get it. But instead, the all-weather floor mats were on constraint. And Al, or the Vette Father, called me and said, hey, are you okay you know, ordering the car without those floor mats so we can place the order for you? And I said, you know what? I'm pretty sure Jason's going to say yes, but let me call him real quick. I mean, if you're declining the car over some all-weather floor mats.
Yeah, I have weather tech in my car now, so I mean, big deal.
Yeah. Future Sean, my Venmo is just horsepower obsessed, all one word. If you guys are interested, like I said, I'll put it in here one more time. It is just horsepower obsessed, all one word. And if you specify for it to be divvied up, I will definitely divvy it up for you guys. I mean, for Jason and Steve. So I did get a Venmo already. So Ralph Cruz, guys, you know Ralph, absolute amazing person. He is single-handedly supporting the channel between, there's like 4 of you guys that are just absolutely killing it. Ralph Cruz, he sent a very hefty donation, guys. So give a big thumbs up to Ralph Cruz. He's a heck of a guy. Thank you so much, Ralph. I appreciate everything you do. Yeah. Steve got it, guys. Those thumbs ups.
Like, where's my camera?
Right. All right. So,
let's talk C8 Z06.
Yeah, so the way it works is the same for PayPal. It will just be horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. But Steve Robertson was asking, yeah, it's just horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. There was a question I saw in here about my gas guzzler tax on my ZR1. I actually don't know. That will be a question I will have answered next time. I got to look at my the window sticker. That's a good question, though, because that is one thing we do not have with the Z06 is what that gas guzzler fee is going to be. Something tells me it could be pretty extreme. But let's move on. So, guys, with the C8 Corvette, wheel constraint, good to go. If you're looking at a 70th anniversary edition. Now, guys, are you ready? The next big piece of information is, of course, about the Z06. Are you ready? Because it's big. Right there. So we talked about this in a previous video, guys, but it has been confirmed. The C8 Corvette Z06 is, in fact, at the Nurburgring right now. So a lot of you guys out there saying, and actually, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here. We have 168 votes. 67% of those people are saying that the Z06 price is too high. That's a lot. That is a lot. 67%. I don't know what the math works out to be there, but that's a lot of people saying it's too high. So what that means, though, guys, is a lot of you don't believe it's worth the money. Now, the Corvette Z06 is at the Nurburgring right now for at least the 3rd time. Now, what that means is they are going to get a number. They're not going to stop until they have an official number this time, and I love that about it. Before we continue, guys, I got a $30 Venmo from Sean. Again, huge supporter of the channel. Sean, thank you so much. He says, keep up the good work, buddy. Can you explain to me how production is starting in September, yet the build configurator for the Z06 has a speculation of being up in September? Well, Sean, this is another thing. Kind of goes with what I said earlier about the fact that I think the Z06 was originally going to be the 89,995. I know it sounds like I'm just trying to cover my tracks because I made that video saying that I had 2 different salesmen confirming this for me. But I do believe that that is the case. I believe that the car was originally going to be 89,995, and some of the current day things affected that price to the point where it's at now. With the reason I'm saying that is because I also believe that the car was originally supposed to actually ship in September, not be built in September. So if you guys remember the minted green Corvette option that you could, with the NFT thing, you could win by bidding on it, it said in there originally that it was supposed to ship in September, and then GM pulled it down real quick. I think that that was why they pulled that down, because they were going to be about a month late on that, maybe 2 months. September is now the build or the production date, not the ship date. So hopefully that answers your question, Sean. If it doesn't, let me know. So guys, Bull Run is in here. He's a big supporter of the channel as well. He says the Huracan Evo gas guzzler tax was $2,100. I would say that that's probably pretty close to where the Z06 is going to be if I had to guess, because the Z06 is a smaller displacement this time around than usual. Usually the Corvettes, as you guys know, are typically around 6.2 liter, and that does affect the EPA and of course the gas guzzler cost. Shane, being the man that he is, he says we're at 71 thumbs up currently, guys. We are at 250 watching, so that number should be a little bit closer. If you could please hit that thumbs up button, it really helps the channel, guys. Let's see what else we got here. So Bull Run says, we all want the cool stuff as cheap as we can buy, but stack the Z06 specs with the other supercars, and $150,000 coupe Z07 with carbon fiber is a bargain. And I tend to agree with him under one tiny little caveat, and that is that the Z06 with the Z07 package actually performs better, or at least equal to, those supercars. Because if we can get a $160,000 Z06, it better perform just as well as a $160,000 GT3. If it doesn't, we're going to have an issue. Guys, another super chat just came in from, got to scroll up a little bit, I'm getting a lot of comments today. Apple and RC. I know this person. I don't want to say their name, but he is a very cool dude. I like him a lot. He says, keep it up, Justin. You're doing great, buddy. Thank you. You are also doing great. And then we have another super chat that came in from none other than Dean. He is a blackout tinting worker, flat glass man. You may know him as. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate the support. All right, so Jesse says, we aren't comparing it to other supercars. We have to compare it to the Stingray. GM wants us to compare it to other supercars. What were you going to say, Steve?
That's a good point, actually. I think it should be compared. We should be looking at it compared to the Stingray. It's a phenomenal car. I've seen it. I actually haven't been in it, but I'm sorry, for $40,000, I disagree. It's not worth that much. And you know, we were talking about this earlier. I'm all about being transparent, and I know those people like, well, I'm going to buy the Z06, but most of the people are just prideful. You know what I want to talk to about something General Lee wrote earlier. He's talking about the price and about how he knows the options. He's trying to figure out what options to take off so he can afford that. I respect that, actually. Then somebody's, I'm going to buy this car, and you really probably don't. Like, you know, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal car. I just can't afford it. I mean, I don't even know if I would, I could pay the payment on. I just don't know it's $40,000 more.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Is it that the Z06 is overpriced for the Corvette market, or is it that the Stingray is underpriced?
Yeah, that is the question right there. Now, the big thing with what Jason just said right there is Chevy really, really, really tried to drive it home whenever they launched the C8 that, hey, this thing is a sports car you can get for under $60,000 and it will hit 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Now, you're not going to find another sports car out there that will hit 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds for under 60 grand. So GM was really trying to drive that home. And because of that, I think they kind of priced themselves out. Because if you remember early on, especially at a base model, non-Z51, 1LT, GM's actually losing money on the C8. So it's not until you start adding the 3LTs and the Z51, the front end lift, that they're starting to make any money. So with that said, where do they lose money with the Z06? If I had to guess, it's a lot higher. It's probably closer to 100.
Yeah.
Ryan in the live chat here, guys, he is selling one of his kids for only $150,000. I like it. You guys,
I'll sell you for
20. Say that again, Jason.
I said I'll sell you one of my kids for $20.
All right, so let's scroll through the document here a little bit, guys. Car Buzz is actually the one that takes the pictures of the Z06 over at the Nurburgring right now. And these are current pictures. The car is there right now. If you guys remember, I made a video talking about this, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, where the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, where they were speculating that the car was over there, but there was no proof. We have proof now. The car is there right now, testing on the Nurburgring. They're going to come back with a time this time, if I had to guess. They've been over there at least 3 times at this point, and there's always been something that has stopped them from getting an official time. I think this time we're going to have a time. Now, you guys can say whatever you want to say about it, but based on the fact that we got that price, and the price is fairly high, regardless of how you want to look at it, sure, it might be a good, a good amount for a car that can compete with supercars, but it is higher than what we expected. That's all there is to it. And with that said, there's only one reason they would have priced it that high, and it's got to be because it's worth it. And if that's the case, then these cars are coming back from Nurburgring this time with an insane time. I'm going to have to guess it's got to be under 7 minutes. If they come back from the Nurburgring with a time that is over 7 minutes, I think we're going to have some seriously upset people. What do you guys think?
That I agree with.
Yep.
I think if they, I think it was Stephen V was in here, was talking about, he's not understanding how he came up with the price without the performance figures. And I think if they come out with some stellar performance figures, then they can justify, look what you can buy for this amount. But if it doesn't just fly off the chart for performance, I don't know. I'm still sticking to that. I think it's overpriced.
Yep.
I think I personally, 99,000 would have been under the 100 would have been better to start.
Yeah. Originally, I had said from pretty much day one it was going to be 89,995. I had a couple people right before they announced the price say that it was going to be just a hair under 100,000. No one out there guessed that this car was going to be 106, or in this case, it was almost, I think it was 106.5 after the destination charge. No one guessed that. No one. And the fact that people were reaching out to me early on about 8 months ago and confirming to me, quote unquote, confirming that the price was right around 89,995, 89,995, tells me that at some point that was the price that they had talked about. Now at that price, I think we're all having a different conversation at that price. Yeah. So VT16 Turbo says even 90 to 95 would have worked. If it would have been priced under 100, it would have been perfect. Now, I don't want to sit here and pretend that I know more than the GM CEO or GM executives that price this thing out. I'm not going to pretend like I know that more than they do. At the end of the day, this is just my thought, my impression, my wishes, if you will. I would have liked to have seen that car priced under 100 by probably $5,000. So 95 at absolute most.
Yeah, and if we wanted to be really honest, the car starts at 106. A person is nobody's going to be turned off on $6,000. If you're figuring 99,000, that's what I think. And now it's 106. If you're buying this car, $6,000 isn't going to hurt you.
Yeah. Now, one of the big ones here, guys, is Bull Run actually hit it on the head here. He said maybe the pricing was a ploy to try and reduce flippers. Between flippers and also a way to reduce the numbers of people on a waiting list. I gave a lot of that some thought too. Like maybe this was GM's way of getting those lists a little bit smaller, because I literally do not know one person that is not on a list for a Z06. And that's crazy because the car is expensive enough that most of the people I know can't afford it. But guys, I want to call out Earl. He just donated on the Venmo. He didn't say anything specifically he wanted to address, but thank you, Earl. You're helping support the channel right on Venmo, which means all of that will go to me. YouTube will not take a cut. I appreciate that very much. So, guys, moving on. For those of you who don't know what you're looking at right now, this is the C8 Corvette Z06 at the Nurburgring. Somebody asked, why is there camo on a car? We already know what it looks like. It's odd because there's a lot of these running around. And from what I can tell, they are Z06s. Now, this particular one has the side exit rear exhaust. And I know everybody out there is going to say, oh, that's the European spec. It's not, because the driver's side or the steering wheel is on the correct side of the car for the US. So it's not a European spec car. With that said, I have absolutely no idea why it's got the old exhaust set up on it, other than the fact that it's potential that it could be the E-Ray. Now, if GM's smart... Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
That would be awesome because it looks extremely similar to the Z06, and I'm number 3 on the list. So.
Yeah, I think the E-Ray is going to be the car that a lot of people end up getting, because it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be priced between the base C8 and the Z06. So it's going to probably be closer to that $79,000, $89,000 starting price.
So, question for everybody. I can't have 3 Corvettes. So, which one do I get rid of at some point? Do I sell my C7 Z06 and keep the C8 and the C8 E-Ray, or what do I do?
Now, one thing you guys are going to want to keep in mind with what Jason just asked is that his C7 Z06 is a manual. So
I would
don't
sell the.
Yeah, that's where my mind goes right there, is keep the manual, and the E-Ray is going to be similar enough to the base C8 that I would probably drop that one.
You sell that,
but I do have a garage. I just make my car in the driveway.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I saw a comment. Yeah. So we're getting some comments saying that they're thinking that the pricing of the E-Ray is going to be around $84,995. I'm somewhere around there myself. I'm thinking between $79 and $89, because it's definitely going to be priced in between the Z06 and the base C8. All right, so other than the fact that the C8 Corvette Z06 is over at the Nurburgring, which tells us some good stuff, we're definitely going to be getting a Nurburgring time this time, and that's pretty cool because we never got an official time for the C7 Corvette lineup, but if we had, the segmented time for the C7 Corvette Z06 was 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Or I'm sorry, the C7 ZR1 was 6 minutes and 58 seconds, which is insanely fast. If you guys know, if you have a sports car that can hit under 7 minutes at that Nürburgring, you are talking about one heck of a car. The ZR1 did it. The Z06, C7 Z06, segmented time again, was 7 minutes and 10 seconds. So 12 seconds off of that lap time for a ZR1. Pretty impressive. Now, with that said, can the C8 Z06 beat the segmented time of the C7 ZR1? What do you guys think? So Kevin asks, will we have a Z06 ring time soon? What are you hearing? Kevin, what we're looking at right now is actually the picture of the C8 Corvette Z06 over at the Nurburgring as we speak. So with that said, we are going to get a time eventually, and I don't know what it's going to be. I actually have not heard any rumors of what this is going to be. In my opinion, there's no way GM is going to be able to come out here with a time that's not under 7 minutes. So unless it's exactly 7 minutes or less, it is going to be very hard for GM to come out and say, oh yeah, we hit a 7-minute, 15-second time over there to Nurburgring. By the way, the car's $106,000 to start. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So the Vette father says the C8 Z06 will smoke the C7 ZR1 ring times. What do you guys think? I want to hear your other thoughts about this.
It does. Honest, GM knows what they're doing, and I bet you this time, buddy, that's the only way you can justify this price.
Yeah. So the Vette father saying 6 minutes 56 seconds for the Z06. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily smoking the ZR1, but it is a little bit faster. Bull Run says 6 minutes 54 seconds, and he says to take that to the bank. So I'd be okay with that. If we get a Z06 that's got 6 minutes and 54 seconds around that ring time, that is, I think that's actually, yeah, that is. That's faster than the GT2 RS. Now, if you guys know what a Porsche GT2 RS is, it is far more expensive than $106,000 starting price. So if we are pumping out a car that is better than that car on the track, then it's worth every penny of $106,000. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Howdy says, man, I don't know. I think the Z06 will be sub 7 minutes, but by a hair. So like 6 minutes 59 seconds. I'm kind of there myself, to be honest with you.
I just can't wait to see the markups.
The markups are going to be nuts. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. I know of at least one dealership in Maryland that I have called and verified this myself with. They were charging $200,000 over MSRP. So the car starting at 106, right off the bat, you're paying $306 for that car.
That's nuts.
It is.
No way.
I'm buying a
Zero.
Lamborghini.
At 300,000, I don't even know. I don't even know if I'd buy a Lamborghini. Like I'm going to buy something insane. Like who?
I would. I paid $300,000 for that car. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. I love Corvette. It's amazing, but it's not $300,000.
Me too.
No. And I know the dealership is doing it. And whenever I called them on it, I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Like, why are you guys doing that? And the guy said, well, you know, it might sound crazy, but we have 10 people confirmed already at that price. So like it or not, the markups only work because people are paying them. So the $200,000 markup in Maryland, yeah, 10 people have already signed up to pay it. Now, I'm sure that list is even bigger by now. That was probably close to a year ago I called about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a McLaren 765 is around $300,000. So yeah, exactly.
A Vette father, it says one dealership, big YouTube guy, not going to say who, is going to do actions for his allocations. What does that mean? I didn't get that. I didn't understand.
Yeah, what kind of actions are we talking about?
I know some actions.
Phantom says, as much as I love Chevy, especially the Camaro and Corvette, $300K is not worth it. 100% right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm having a little bit of difficulty thinking that even the 106K is worth it.
Yeah.
So, auctions is what he meant. Wheeler O'Hara says auctions. Wow, bid. Yeah, so it's going to be a bidding war.
Auction. Okay.
GTR 0, he's right though, and we can pretend like it's not really that. Recession is coming.
Yeah,
we're actually pretty much are.
Yeah.
And people are, when they can't start Ford, we're gonna say, oh, we can pay for it. It's gonna hit America. It's gonna hit this car too.
Oh yeah, I think GM priced the car knowing that. I think they did, And that's why it's priced so high, because they're not going to make many of these things. And the ones that they do make, they need to make their money back ASAP before. I mean, of course, this is all just my opinion. This is not, none of this is fact. So don't take this to the bank, but it definitely seems that way to me.
Yeah, I can see that. That's very logical.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's shiny fenders is correct. You can build a faster Sting. We've seen it.
Well, Vetfather is literally in the process of doing that right now. He's building his Stingray up to the point where it's gonna eat Z06s for lunch.
Nice.
Awesome.
And the reason he did that was because, number one, he couldn't get a Z06 because the cars are going to be very hard to get. And two, the price. I mean, you can build the Z06 to be or the C8 to be a Z06 eater for less than what you'd even pay for a base Z06.
Yeah.
True.
So the only other thing I want to talk about here, guys, is the pricing, obviously, for the Z06, but specifically some of the additional options that have come up. So as you can see here on the screen, this was from the Corvette blogger. It was updated to show not just the Z06 coupe and convertible base prices, but also to add on the front lift, the carbon ceramic rotors, any of your stripe packages that you wanted, the carbon fiber visible ground effects, the stealth interior packages, all that stuff. And I added all this up in my own little Excel document because I'm crazy. My car would be right around 170 grand. So yeah, I know. So you guys, $106,000 starting price is pretty crazy, but 170 is crazier. So it easily gets to that price if you look at these options here. So right off the bat, you take your mine will be a 3LZ coupe, so I'm at 120 grand right off the bat. Then you add the front lift, the carbon I wouldn't have to add the carbon ceramic rotors, but I would add the Z07 package, the carbon fiber exposed ground effects and aero kit, which is another, I think, 10 grand. They have that all down here. Then, of course, the exposed carbon fiber wheels, which are $11,995. Yeah, the price gets up there pretty freaking quick. So if you guys are going to get this car and check any kind of boxes, 106 is the least of your concern. You're going to be easily at 140, 150.
That's true. You're talking about the car. Getting the car you want is a whole nother story.
Yeah. Yep. If you option this thing out the way you want. And I thought from the very beginning, guys, I really did think that the Z06 was likely going to cost me around 150 because I was going to option it out. I was still about 20K off. Steve Robertson says 170K plus tax ? Yes, it's plus tax, and it's also plus the gas guzzler fee that we don't know yet. So, I mean, 170K plus tax and plus a gas guzzler fee that's probably going to be it's going to be between $1,500 and $2,500. You're well into 180, 190 at that point. I mean, you're almost at $200,000 for a well-optioned car without dealership markups. Now, again, I don't want to sit here and pretend like I know what GM was doing pricing the car. I'm not going to pretend that I do. I don't understand half the stuff that they do. But for the normal working man, this is no longer a sports car for the normal working man.
Yeah.
No.
Think about it like this. So several years ago when I bought the Lambo, I got it, back when prices were not nuts, and I paid $150. I put $70,000 for my down payment, and I was still paying $1,300 a month on my car payment. Plus, insurance and all that. I mean, and this car is going to outperform the Lambo that I had, because I bought a 14 Gallardo back in 2018. And so really, I think, as crazy as the numbers sound on the Z06, they are crazy, but performance-wise, like you said, over and over and over, it would way outperform my Lambo.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm talking a lot about this being high priced, and it's priced outside of the the typical working man, which even Jesse over here in the comment section said that that's what Corvette was founded on, and it is.
Right.
But the big thing you guys want to remember, and this is going to be something that I know people are going to comment on this video later and say, the normal working guy can have the base C8. He doesn't need the Z06. And that is true to an extent. But at the same time, the Z06 being as good as it is, GM may have decided to take that additional step and make it a car that, yeah, it's priced a little outside of what the normal working man can afford now, but it can now keep up or possibly perform better than supercars that are twice or three times the price. Now, as you guys know, Jason, he knows the C7 Z06, the C7 Corvette ZR1, even the C7 Stingray, those cars will hang and possibly beat with a lot of the higher end performance cars as it is. So taking a C8 Z06 and taking it to that next level, again, this is a lot of speculation at this point, but if they do it and that car can run with or beat the Porsche GT3, or even at this situation, the Porsche GT2 RS around the Nurburgring, and you're only charging 150K or 160K fully maxed out, that is a heck of a deal. So it doesn't matter how much they're charging if they're just crushing the competition. But that is a big if.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, they didn't abandon everybody, though. You know what I mean? They still have the Corvette that is reasonably priced with very, very good performance. So by making a 6 and putting the price at a higher than average, what the average person can afford, at least they didn't just take all of their cars and do that. They're still leaving a very affordable, for most people, and for a lot of people, the Stingray.
Yep, and that's what I want to address because I know that comment's going to come up. The Stingray is still the working man's sports car. The Z06 doesn't have to be.
Right.
Neither does the Stingray. Go ahead.
We see them every time we do events, man. I'm just like, golly, that thing is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you can have. I've seen the other people on YouTube with the C8s with the twin turbo kits. Crazy stuff like that on them that they're putting down numbers that are probably going to be better than the Z06. So, I mean, you can have it all.
Nice. Hey, Justin, we're up at 314 right now. 314 watching.
Okay.
Join us.
So, guys, we're at... Yeah, I was going to say we're at 314. Let's see where are we at with the likes. 121. So guys, we're lagging behind a little bit. We got 315 people in here watching, 121 likes. If you guys could please hit that thumbs up, let me know you're liking the content. So YouTube will circulate this out to as many other Corvette enthusiasts as possible, which will only improve our Corvette group of people here. So guys, we're talking about, for those of you just now joining, we're talking about the C8 Corvette Z06, its pricing, whether or not it's worth it, how it compares to the supercars, and the fact that it is over at the Nurburgring again, testing out some times right now, which means we're likely to get an official time from GM. And we want to know what you guys think. Is it going to be under 7 minutes on that time around that ring, or is it going to be over 7 minutes? What do you guys think? B Hill, I guess, says GT2 RS is way out of this car's league. LOL. It was 700 horsepower and hit 6 minutes 44 seconds at the ring and weighed 3,200 pounds. All right, so that might be possible. I probably got the times wrong. I thought the GT2 RS was 650 something, but it could have been faster than that. I do know the GT2 RS also had, I think they were basically some sort of special tire compound that Porsche technically cheated. And when they ran it again with just regular GT2 or Cup 2R tires, that's when it got 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Phantom says, HPO loving the content, Corvette group for life. Yes, Phantom. That's what the Vette Syndicate group is all about.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Rand says, don't you think it will hold its value over the next few years? I absolutely do. I think the C8 Corvette Z06, in my opinion, might also be the last of the internal combustion engine Corvettes Now, we will get an E-Ray, which will technically have an internal combustion engine as well, but it's going to be the same as the base C8 as far as the engine's concerned. So the Z06 is going to be the highest horsepower C8 Corvette with internal combustion engine, in my opinion. Again, no fact behind this. This is just something I'm thinking. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Jesse says the GT3 was 6 minutes and 55 seconds at the Nurburgring. Was that the GT3 or the GT3 RS? Now, you guys, if you don't know, the Chevrolet team with the Z06 tested and benchmarked this car against the GT2 RS. So I don't know if they're looking to beat the GT3 while benchmarking against the GT2 RS. C5 Vette says, do you think the E-Ray will exceed 600 horsepower? I think the E-Ray is going to actually be right at 600, so I'm thinking 595. Howdy says, how much do you think this car will appreciate in 20 years? Pretty massively, because like I said, if I'm right, and this is the last internal combustion engine C8 or Z06 or Corvette in general, it is going to skyrocket once all you can get is electric cars. And that pretty much goes for any car, not just this one. But this one, specifically for the Corvette guys, is going to go way high. The GT3 RS was slower? That doesn't make any sense. So Nisha says, Tesla Model S Plaid is 126,000, 1.99 seconds to 60, 200 miles per hour. The one thing I want everybody out there to know about the Tesla Plaid, the Model S Plaid, the Model X Plaid, doesn't matter. It is fast in a straight line. If you put it on the Nurburgring, the Plaid performs worse than the base C8 did around the Nurburgring. And that's only for one reason. Tesla makes an amazing car. They have amazing technology, but at the end of the day, they are not an automotive company. I mean, they are, but they haven't been for a long time, like Chevy and some of these other high performance model companies have been. Tesla does not have the technology in their suspension that Chevy is able to put into their cars. So the Z06, the C8 around the Nurburgring, it's gonna do better than the electric Tesla cars.
Wow.
So when we went track a few years ago, we did that track day, Justin, when you were here in DFW. Do you remember watching that guy in the Tesla try to get that thing around the track?
Yes, I do. And I
literally break off on that thing. That car looked like it was quick, but man, it did not handle those turns.
Yep. And I remember talking to him. I believe you were standing right beside me whenever he went to go on the track. We were like congratulating him because this was one of the first times we'd ever seen somebody in an electric car at a track. And we were like, oh, dude, this is cool. He goes out there and on the straights, I'm sure he just tears it up because the electric cars have all the torque right up front. You know, it's a fast car, but you hit that first turn and you immediately realize this car is not built for the track.
Right.
I mean, the same kind of thing with, like a Charger or Challenger Hellcat. They're fast cars, but don't put it on a track. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Z06 is going to be fast, but it's not going to be the fastest car on the planet, but it is going to handle. And as long as it handles just as well as a GT3, then you can price it accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stupid Fast Truck says, plus the Teslas are heavy, and then they're tire eaters. 100%. And that's a big thing with electric cars in general. That battery weighs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all on the same page here as far as electric cars are concerned. We think they're cool. I would gladly own one as a daily driver, but it's never going to replace my fun car. It's that simple.
I hate electric cars.
I would take it as for like my work truck because I drive so much if it was cheaper. But, our power grid's already struggling and they're already asking all the, Tesla's asking all the Tesla owners because it's, like 1,500 degrees every day here if, we would not charge the cars because of the grid.
Exactly. Are they really saying that down there right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is something I wanted to save this because this was a conversation that me and Josh from Blackout Tinting, we wanted to have a conversation about this one day on a live chat here, and we may still, but if that's happening already, imagine where we would be if everybody did have one.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, for those of you who didn't hear what Jason said, in Texas, on the really hot days, because they're 103, 106 degree temperatures down there on a daily basis at this point, it seems, they're asking people not to charge their cars because it's basically going to put a strain on the grid with their cars charging and their ACs running full time. Now imagine this. Think about how many Teslas you see on a daily basis. If I go out to the store right now, I'd be lucky to see one or two. Now, this is going to vary based on what city you're in, but imagine if every single car you saw was electric and they're telling you, don't plug those things in. What are you going to do? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's going to be soon. I'm cool with that. It should happen a long time ago. I don't believe it'll happen because there's too much money in electricity, but at the same time, you know, I'm good with that. But I don't understand how though, because they can't, with everything going green, they can't even keep electric running in any country in the world. It seems like they're all having issues because they're all moving towards green energy, and green energy is unreliable energy.
Yep.
Man, I'm so trying to. I'm not going to get political.
I was going to say I know we're walking a fine line here, guys. No, none of us want to try to make your decision for you, but at the same time, we're here to have a an enthusiast kind of discussion. And I think for the most part, most of you are with us. Teslas, electric vehicles in general, they're cool, but they're not exactly what we want. So, I think
we can have both. You know,
yeah.
I'm like, horses. Like I said, if I could have a Tesla truck because I drive so much every day, I would be okay with that. But doesn't mean I want my sports car electric.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big thing for me is basically if it's going to be something that's going to crash the grid, and they're already asking us not to plug them in, we're not ready. We're not ready. It's that simple. I've said for a while, I think we're 10 years away from being to the point where this makes sense. Now, the E-Ray makes sense because it is very unlikely that the E-Ray will need to be plugged in. It's a hybrid car, so all of the charge for that front electric motor is going to come from the propulsion of the rear gas-powered motor. So you're never going to need to charge it. It will charge itself, only it's going to provide you with that all-wheel drive setup and a little bit of extra horsepower for free for you, basically. Now, this is another thing. I want to touch on this real quick. Just so you guys know, there are a lot of people out there that believe that electric cars are the future because electric is free. Yeah, electric is free.
Yeah,
a lot of people believe that.
Yeah.
But again, in trouble.
With that,
that's good. I'm going to stop paying my light bill then because it's.
All right, so we're going to move past the electric comments for now. We're going to save some of this for a future discussion. But anyway, what are you guys thinking about the pricing of the Z06? I want to talk about this for another couple minutes, and then we're going to start to wrap this up, I think. But a lot of you guys are still here. Dr. Corvette, big supporter of the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Cole McMeans, thanks for tuning in. Howdy says, Justin, what do you believe will happen to the C8 prices in the next 5 years? The C8 base prices, I think, are going to start coming down. It's tough to say, though, to be honest with you, because it could be the exact opposite depending on where we're at in the economy. The price of the C8 could come down because of the Z06, but it depends on how many Z06s are made. Plus, with where it's priced, it's possible that the Z06 still goes up. And that, honestly, that's cool. That's fine by me. I mean, that just means our cars are worth a lot of money. And even all three of us here who have C7s, the values of all three of our cars have gone way up.
Oh, yep.
Thanks, ST. I try to make it as wild as possible. It gets attention. Podrick says GM is greedy. It should have started at 90K. I don't know that I would say GM is greedy. I think GM is just kind of reading the economy and possibly bracing themselves for what they know is coming. Pricing of the Z06 is really tied to the C8 because many of us will sell the C8 to buy the Z06. That is another thing. So I thought about this initially, but I don't think it's going to happen this way now because of the pricing. Originally, I thought we'll get a market that's kind of flooded with C8s, people trying to move those cars and then get into the Z06. But I don't think that's going to happen now with that pricing. I think the pricing stopped that from being an option.
Well, here I could touch on this real quick, Justin. So at the car meetup this week, we had our meetup the day after this pricing broke, and I got to talk to some of the C8 Stingray owners, and I didn't find one of them that I spoke to personally, and I probably spoke to like 10 of them that was going to get the Z06. The majority of, I mean, all of them were like, I'm just keeping mine. Yeah. Like, so I think there's a lot of people going to buy them, but realistically, I think more people are going to stay with the Stingray or buy a new Stingray. I just think the Z06 just a little bit too overpriced.
I have seen a lot of the same. I actually talked to two of my subscribers at a show I was at just this past weekend. Both of them had C7 Corvettes. One was a Grand Sport and one was a Z06. And they were talking about how they're probably just going to keep that. So for me, the big thing, the C7 is available in a manual, and whether you're with me or you're against me on that, that's very important to some people. And for me, that definitely deters certain other cars from being purchased.
Yeah.
Dad's Garage, thanks for tuning in. He has a great point, guys. He says, get those thumbs ups, guys. Only half of people watching have hit the thumbs ups. It looks like this. If you guys haven't seen a thumbs up, that's what it looks like. Please click it. It would really help the channel. Yeah, look at Steve. He'll demonstrate it all night. Just hold that pose, Steve.
Hit the button.
So Car Speed says GM broke a lot of hearts. I believe that they did too. I think the announcement of the pricing, a lot of people had it in their heads, just like I did. We were going to be starting right around 90K. And when they came out 16K above that, it was a little bit of a surprise. What do we...
I think the bigger surprise, you already know the dealers are going to be marking the hell out of these cars. So that is one of the bigger issues. If you really thought you could get this car for 106, you probably wouldn't be complaining. But you already know it's 156. It's 176 just to get in this base car, the base C06, before you start upgrading it. That's probably what the real issue. Because I think if we thought we can get this car for 106, I've seen C8 Stingrays for more than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So... guys, Howdy has a good question. He wants to know exactly how to do a thumbs up, and it is a little bit harder on a live chat than it is a regular video. So if you're watching this on your cell phone, what you need to do is actually pull the live chat down and click the thumbs up that's right underneath the video, and then you can pull the live chat back up. That's the thumbs up I really would like for you guys to press. So VT16 Turbo says, well, I don't know about that, horsepower obsessed. The used market on a C8 Stingray is about 100 to 160K, and that's what Steve just touched on. And yeah, for right now, you can literally buy a base C8 Corvette, and it would cost you more than the starting price of a Z06 would if you can get it without a markup, which is, a giant feat in itself. But yeah, guys, the C8 Corvette, I don't think the price of that's going to drop anytime soon because of where GM priced the Z06. If the Z06 was priced at $89,995 like I thought it was going to be, I think the market would have been a little bit more saturated with C8s and the price would have come down a little bit. But where the price is at now, I don't think the price of the C8 is going to change at all. Yeah, so
that might get bigger actually.
Yeah. It could. I mean, honestly, that could be the case. the C8's priced too high for some people, so now a lot of people are just going to stick with a C8 and the prices go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Malik says it's not GM's fault that people got their hopes up from rumors and YouTubers that the Z06 was going to start at 90K. 100%. I would not blame this on GM. And like I said 100 times so far, I don't blame GM, and I don't claim to know more than GM, but I'm just portraying or repeating the opinions of people on the pricing video that I put out. A lot of people aren't happy about it. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong for feeling that way. It's fact they're not happy. Let's see.
Not gonna change it.
No, it's not. That's the thing. It's like
he said his Stingray build was 101. What year was his?
Yeah, Shane, what year is your build for 101K? That's the thing, is a fully maxed out base or a fully maxed out C8 Corvette, not a Z06. You can still get well into the hundreds, and that's without dealer markups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine's 90. What was it? 94.3.
Yeah,
I believe it was.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the front end lift, and I really wanted to, but I didn't want to spend the extra few grand, so I didn't.
Yeah, that's the thing is, Jason, I think you got a 2LT convertible, and I mean, he didn't even check all the boxes, and he's still almost at 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 23, so his same year as mine.
Okay. That's brand new, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane, was yours the 70th anniversary edition? Phantom says it'll all depend on the Nurburgring. Yeah, 100%. Probably will ultimately determine if the price is worth it. 100%, guys. So the big thing here, I really think GM has priced this car accordingly because they already know where the time for that Nurburgring is coming in at, and it's got to be under 7 minutes. If it's not, this price is not. It's going to be hard to justify if it's not under 7 minutes around that Nurburgring. So I have to say it's going to be. I have to believe that it's going to be under 7 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be having a completely different conversation if it's even well under that too.
If they come back, and even if it's at 7 minutes and 2 seconds, it's going to be hard to justify because you have cars that will hit under 7 minutes for about the same price.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So Shane thinks his car might actually get pushed to a 24.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
General Lee, he's not doing the level 2 carbon fiber interior, but still a 3LZ. Yeah, and that's the thing is,
car then though.
I was looking at all the options and pricing mine out, and like I said, before taxes and before the gas guzzler fee and before some of the options that aren't priced yet, like the carbon fiber engine cover's not on there yet. There's some other things that aren't on there. So, and I'm still at 170. Like, this car could potentially be 180 plus tax. It's going to be nuts.
Hey, Dr. Corvette, how long did it take from when you got your allocation to when you received it? Your car?
Yeah, Dr. Corvette sent me some pictures of his 70th anniversary, and we're gonna display them next week because it's pretty nice. Bull Run says, let's take a second and all be thankful and grateful that we're blessed to have such choices and decisions to make. 100%. That is the comment of the day, guys. And actually, you know what? I'm going to pin that comment because that's it. I mean, we are in a position, all of us, where we are even having a discussion about this, and we're all blessed to be in a situation like this. So definitely, that's the big thing to remember. Justin, what percentage of production is Chevrolet putting towards Z06s? I can't remember if they gave us a percentage or not, but basically originally they were supposed to produce 40,000 C8 Corvettes a year. They have not hit that number yet. The highest I think I've seen was like 24,000 in a year. And of those 40,000, 15,000 were supposed to be Z06s. but those numbers are going to be affected by each other. So if they're only making 25,000 C8s, they're not going to make 15,000 Z06s. It's probably going to be more like 5. So if they don't ramp up production, which I don't think they're really going to be able to with the current shortages of today's market, they're not going to be making a lot of Z06s.
And that might be why the price is so high as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is someone actually said it in the chat here that they thought maybe it was GM's way of kind of reducing some of the waiting list. There's so many people on the waiting list for the Z06. Maybe, hey, if we actually throw a price out there that's kind of high, a lot of these people will drop off and we can get some of these cars actually to these people.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, honestly, I think that's kind of an odd mentality, but it is possible, I guess.
Hey, General Lee just said that he's going to be in the DFW area for Thanksgiving. So, hey, we are definitely taking you to lunch and meeting up with you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Definitely.
That would be General.
That'd be fantastic.
What
We need to try to have a big Vette when he's here and pick him up and have him go with us.
Yeah, General, let me know what days you're going to be there, because if that's the case, I might try to come down the same time.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome. So Ever Jeff says, I'm guessing 25% of Z06 first year go around 6,500. It's probably not a bad guesstimate. I think it's a tad high. I'm thinking more like 5,000 myself, but honestly, it's so hard to tell right now because of the way the world is and the how difficult it is to get materials. It's tough. Car speed is
yeah. Huff Hines.
Yeah, Car Speed. What dealership is that at?
Huff Hines, I'm guessing.
General Lee says 22nd through the 26th. Let's try to make something work with that, guys. That would be pretty cool.
Whatever that weekend is.
Hey, generally, you're messaging me. Let's stay in contact with each other on Facebook and stuff, or just text me or whatever, because I want to make sure that we got something going when you're here.
Yeah.
If you have, I mean, you may be busy, and if you're going to be busy the whole time, that's cool. But if not, we'd love to do some stuff with you.
100%. So Dr. Corvette ordered his on 4.6 and picked it up on 7.9. Is that a year in between or only 3 months?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the sad part with this car. You don't know. But if you only waited 3 months for a 70th anniversary edition, that's pretty good.
Well, that might be good for me.
Well, that's why I'm going to go to that dealer, the dealer that I know that you could pay a little extra. They say that you could have it within 2 to 2.5 months. So I'll find out Wednesday if that's true. And next week on the live, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely keep me updated on that one, Steve, because that just sounds like such a scam to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds a little too good to be true.
Yeah, I agree. According to Mid-Engine Corvette, they will make 32,000 C8s up to February 2023. That's still 8,000 short of their initial goal. So far, they haven't hit it once, but they were originally supposed to hit 40,000 C8 Corvettes. Supply and demand, Great White North Corvette says. Unfortunately, that's exactly where we're at.
So Shane used to be here in the DFW area as for the police department, right? That's pretty cool. Well, thank you.
Wow, that's cool. Let's see what the comment I just saw here. Yeah, so Future Sean wants to know if allocations are going to be given out on Thursday, the 28th. I think that's Thursday. For the Z06, that is a great question, because if you guys aren't aware, you can order your C8 Z06 on the 28th of July. But if that's the case, are we going to know allocation info? I would have to assume yes, because otherwise, how are you going to place that order? But at the same time, I can't say for sure. Yeah, so Car Speed that says that the computer chip shortage is easing up. I have seen that myself. Yeah. The price, Scott wants to know the price, I'm guessing, of the Z06 is $106,000 to start. So before options. Dr. Corvette did say 3 months. That's interesting. What dealership did you get it from, Dr. Corvette?
Yeah, what dealership?
That's crazy. That's really fast, especially for a 70th anniversary edition.
That gives me hope.
Yes, it does. I would have definitely assumed he meant a year and 3 months.
That's faster than my suppressor.
Yeah, right? Like, it took me longer than that to buy an Xbox.
It'll only be like 99 by the time mine would be here if in October, you know, temperature wise. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it arrives in October, though, where are you at? When did we put that order in? I can't remember.
Sheesh.
But you can.
That was a while back. Heck, I don't know, a month or two ago.
Well, I mean, you're still 4 or 5 months. It's still not bad.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. So I think we're going to start wrapping this video up. There's still over 300 people on here. I hate to let you go, but at the same time, I don't want to keep this going too long. I mean, these guys over here, they have lives. I might not, but they do. So
I still got to work.
So I'm always.
My dealer said that he's not giving allocations. They are special ordering their own Z06s and then auctioning them off to the highest bidder.
I'm out there. Vanderbilt Chevrolet in Texas. That sounds like they're
That-
crap.
Oh yeah. Future Sean, he has a good point. Real quick, guys, before we dissipate here, he says that the Raptor R was a letdown. Can we talk about that for a second? If you guys are out there, if you're watching any of the things that aren't Corvette related, you guys know that the TRX came out and kind of dethroned the original Ford Raptor truck. Now Ford has answered back with their Raptor R, and it was a little less impressive than any of us had hoped. It came out with 700 horsepower, which is still 2 less than the TRX, and 37-inch tires. And other than that, it's basically the same truck. So it is kind of disappointing. I was hoping that they'd come out with something more like 750, 760. And I wasn't even planning on buying the truck. I just wanted them to come out with that, because then that pushes Dodge to come out with one that has even more. And like, that's the only reason I wanted it. But yeah. Yeah, so Alpha Omega, it starts at 106 after some options, and after the options I checked, I was at 160, 165 before taxes, before destination fee.
Oh.
Yeah, the 106,395 includes the destination delivery fee. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let these guys go, so we're going to wrap this up. I hope you guys all liked the content today. Like I said, just real quick wrap up. Vette Syndicate, awesome car group. For the most part, they're having shows right now down in Texas, but we're going to end up being more than that in the future. Check them out on Instagram. It is us three all together. We have created Vette Syndicate, but at the end of the day, Vette Syndicate is not about us. It's about you. So check out the Instagram account. We share all your pictures, all that stuff. We also talked about the fact that the constraints on the wheels for the new 70th anniversary edition C8 are gone. So you can order that car, get the car faster because there's no more constraints. The Corvette C8 Z06 is at the Nurburgring again, which means we are going to be getting a time soon. And hopefully that time is worthy of the $106,000 price tag. Other than that, we are good to go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash the thumbs up button one last time if you could before you go. Say bye, guys.
Peace.
Week.